I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Mr. Witzman.
Commissioner Meeks.
Present.
Commissioner Eichmeyer.
Here.
Commissioner Dogger.
Here.
Commissioner Zimmerman.
Here.
Mayor Judge.
Here. All right, I need approval of minutes of meeting held May 3rd, 2021. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. So moved. All right, visitors. Doug Hatchett.
I won't take much time. I live on 4th Street across from the girls' ballpark.
Okay.
I've lived there for 20 years, and this is the worst year I've ever seen balls come over the right side,
Okay.
you know, down 4th Street. I mean, they've put a big ding in my truck, they hit our house, and they hit the neighbor's house, and, you know, 3 of them right on that side. And I was wondering if they could put netting up there like they do at, you know, Major League Park, something that can be taken down and reused again. You know, they did that, the big field down there, they put a high fence on the 4th Street side,
Right.
but they don't play down there much anymore, but they do play at the girls' park.
Right.
And I was just wanting to see if maybe we could get something down, or done for it, you know, to keep it. The pop flies that come over live with that, no problem,
Right.
you know, but it's the line drives that come straight across that you can't have people on your front porch, you can't have people visiting. When the younger girls are playing, it's not the high school so much, it's the younger girls.
Okay. What we can do is you got something?
Yeah, I was briefed on that.
They said they were talking to you.
Yeah, so we have talked about that. We've been replacing the fences at the different parks. So we are trying to figure out what we need to do there. I mean, we don't know exactly yet, but that whole fence actually needs to be replaced, both sides. And I think that depending on how money we have left at the end of the year and the fundraiser that we're doing, we may be looking at replacing that next year. It may be the year after, but if it's the year after that, we'll look at trying to do something in the meantime. I know what you're saying. We went down and looked at it, and the fence is right there is not very high at all.
Could you and Commissioner Meeks take a
Yeah.
look at it on a temporary netting that we could string between the two poles down there?
City want to pay for that? That's great.
Well, it is a city-owned.
I know, but usually the Little League takes care of all
Right,
that. That's
well, I
why-
mean, on a permanent fix,
I'll tell you what, we'll fix it. You have another fundraiser and you can reimburse us. How's that?
yeah. No, as far as you guys looking at it, the temporary netting and stuff isn't all that expensive.
It's more expensive than you think.
Well, I purchased
The
some
snow is
cross
tearing up
ones
a
here.
guy's pickup truck or hitting
But-
somebody on his front
Yeah.
porch in the head.
$600 to my pickup truck.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
So,
We'll take care of it. I'll put it that way.
The
Okay,
issue
you know,
I have.
That's what I thought of netting, you know, that's something that, it doesn't have to be sky high like the other, just to stop the line drives.
No, the issue I have with netting is what we are going through with Major League right now is it dry rots if you don't take it down and it tangles. So that is obviously is an option. I mean, I say it's expensive. It's like $500 to $1,000 for 30 foot by 10 foot.
Well, I think
We could, I would rather just put fencing up there myself, but.
look at doing that, yeah.
Because you could, at the end of the season, you could take it down, the netting,
Yeah,
and
Commissioner Meeks pointed out, we do have some netting that we could redeploy to another location.
oh, that'd be great.
As a temporary fix, maybe Little League can work on a long-term goal of replacing the fences down there. But in the meantime, you know, if we get 2 or 3
no, that's
years
great.
out of the
they
netting,
didn't beat up my new one, they did.
Well, yeah. They-
so,
No, that's great, because we're trying to figure out how to replace
Yeah,
that fence, because it's
Yeah.
like I think it's gonna be about $8,000 to replace that fence, so,
well, you and Commissioner Meeks work
Yep.
together and report back to Mr. Witzman, and we'll move forward with some type of solution if that works for you, sir.
That worked for me, I appreciate it.
I'll check it out tomorrow and get back to Rudy, see what we can do.
Thank you.
No problem. Sorry you're having a problem with it. but-
Yeah.
yeah, I was told you had just bought that truck.
Yeah. I've had trucks out there for 20 years, never got hit. first day that one came over and hit it pretty good in the door.
Never fails, does it?
No.
Hope it
I
wasn't,
got a little angry about it.
hope it wasn't a Ford.
Unfortunately, it was.
Oh. I know our aluminum trucks nowadays are pretty
They get
susceptible.
pretty easy.
Yes, they do. So, all right, so they'll work on that and then we'll get back to you, sir.
All right, thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you. All right. Laura Leathers with Safe Haven.
Hi, we were wanting to, see if we can be put on the list for the money collection in the road, the bucket brigade.
Right. What was your date? June 19th?
I believe so.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions?
I mean, do they fall underneath the,
They
I just
won't,
wanna make sure.
They won't be on the state routes. They'll be
Okay.
on the city-owned roads.
Yeah, that's great.
What are those? Is that the 13th in College?
Yeah, 13th in College, and then where else do you guys plan to be at? Or I guess Rudy can get you a list of,
Walnut, probably.
yeah.
Can't be on Fifth and
Can't
Walnut.
be,
Well, that's a highway now.
Yeah, it's
State highway,
That's right.
unless you're recognized
yeah,
by the state as a national organization.
right. So we'll have Rudy work with you guys on what intersections you guys can have your bucket brigade at if that is suitable.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Oh,
you
you're
very
welcome.
much, ladies, for coming. All right. Any other visitors tonight? Want to take care of you now, or, because it's liquor control's what I got you down for?
I'm separate.
You're separate, okay, there's a lot of roots and queue here,
Unless we
so.
want to do them together.
No, we'll go with you now, Mr. Beckerman. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me then.
Yes,
Yes, so good to see both the top and the bottom of your faces.
yeah.
So Roots and Q is going back to June 18th and 19th this year. That's the weekend that we used in 2019. Last year, you might remember, you might not care, that we were in September. So we waited long enough that we could at least have folks, socially distanced. We had a good day, an excellent crowd in the evening. So, but this year, we're back to the 18th and 19th, and so this is specifically in regards to closing streets. What we're asking for our part this year is from 3rd to 5th on Market, and then, the 400 block to the west of Market down to the alley behind Merchants Park. And, I think you may have this in front of you there. So we're looking at, maybe coning off a few places on Thursday evening, and then we close the streets on Friday morning and reopen as quickly as possible. Also, if we find that our footprint lets us downsize some, we may only go from alley to alley as opposed to all the way from 3rd to 5th. We kind of wait until we see how many vendors and things we have. So that's
Okay.
our request.
All right. Anybody have any other questions? Okay, Rudy, you want to get with Dave, since he's not here this evening, and about barricades and stuff? I don't know how to address the chief and the new chief. I guess is how the best way to do it. Do you guys have any questions, comments, concerns?
No, I think that's easy to accommodate.
All right, sounds great. Thank you, Mr. Beckerman. All right, so moving on to reports and communications. City pool. We have run into some issues out there at the city pool, a little bit more damage than what we have expected. Our normal painter and person that redoes all of our concrete work and stuff was unable to do it this year because of illness. And so the city has taken that on ourselves, and we have come up with a lot of additional concrete damage than we have seen in the past. So Dave Easter and his crew have been out there doing a lot of patchwork. I believe they're getting close to being finished with that. Upon inspection of the pool this year, one thing that we have been kind of on the radar of is our high dive. We are the one last municipal pool to have a high dive in our area. And with the two hard winters that the high dive endured, the structure is no longer safe, and our insurance company has advised us to remove the high dive. And so the high dive has been removed. We are not sure what we're going to replace it with as of right now. I don't know how old that high dive is. I know Mr. Witzman said he was jumping off of it when he was a yee lad, and
Just a few years ago.
And so, we hate to do it, but like I said, the main structure was just not in, good shape at all, so, it has been taken out.
I know it was there in '65.
Rudy says it's older than that, so.
Rudy's older than me, that's why he
Yes.
knows.
But anyways, we've had to take that out. So as far as opening the pool, our tradition is opening up Memorial Day weekend with training of lifeguards and such. We will not be able to make that this year. It's looking like early June will be our opening date, primarily because of the repairs that we've had to do and getting it filled and getting the water warmer than 40 degrees. But our main thing is lifeguards. Still continues to be an issue. We've had a few more people apply, but our lifeguard certification is not until Memorial Day weekend. So anyways, we will not be able to open it up on Memorial Day unless we have a good miracle happen for us. So we will get it open as soon as possible. On the good news, the IDPH guidelines do change on June 11th, so that might be a blessing in disguise for us. So I want to say congratulations to the class of 2021. Commissioner Zimmerman's son Max graduated, so we want to congratulate him and all our other employees' sons or grandchildren. We do want to welcome 2 new officers. One brand new one, David Hauser. These were both lateral transfers to our squad, so we did not have to send them to the Illinois State Police Academy or any other police academy. And then Art Kimmel is back as a city officer. This is his second time?
Yes.
All right, so glad to have David and Art on our squad again, and that puts us at full, correct?
For about a week.
For about a week?
Yeah, I think but we have enough to cover.
Yes.
Our coverage is, it's better than what it has been.
Yeah, our coverage is much better. So, I get a lot of questions about the mental health hospital, where it's at and how it's progressing. It is progressing. One thing that we were able to set a week or so back was an address for it. So a part of getting the approvals at the state of Illinois is setting an address for it. So 1037 Enterprise Lane will be the new address for the mental health hospital here in Mount Carmel if it comes to fruition, which it's looking very positive at this point. So it's something that is very much needed, not only in our area, but throughout the state of Illinois, and basically everywhere right now with everything people have went through with COVID and everything. So that is my report, Commissioner Meeks.
Thank you, Mayor. I was gonna just say if it doesn't involve the police department, the fire department, that we do it, but, I probably ought to read my report. We mow city property, continue to mow city property, cut and clean up a tree at 2nd and Market. They hauled the barricades uptown for the music concert at Merchants Park, cleaned intakes, which anybody wants to help us do that, they can do it, because if it starts raining, you may have a problem. Had a few lights out at the ball field, so they replaced 3 of those light bulbs. Helped the water maintenance department dig out and install a 12-inch casing. Install a casing around a 12-inch high-pressure water main that was exposed, which is pretty dangerous, actually. Started cleaning and making repairs on the concrete to the pool. Opened and closed the grave at Rose Hill Cemetery and worked with Guys White to clean out that big ditch on the north side of 5th Street, past Ace's Way, that drains probably half the city on that side of town. End of my report.
Thank you, Commissioner Meeks. Commissioner Eichmeyer.
Thank you, Mayor. Past 2 weeks, we've had receipts of $278,579, expenditures $128,685, leaving us at a little bit over $1.7 million, our general fund balance. Of that, most of it was state funds. We had sales tax of $71,662, state income tax of $122,005, utility tax of $3,800, state use tax $18,900, and replacement tax of $60. So we're started off the year with those funds. Only thing else I thought I'd mention last week, we were talking about motor fuel tax, or the oil and chip program coming up and some different programs we got. We have 931,000 in that account. And on the senior citizens, Thursday, July 1st, we'll have our annual fish fry. And, we're a little bit ahead of schedule on that, but Tracy, we just finalized that date here this afternoon, so she wanted me to announce that. End of my report.
Thank you, Commissioner Eichmeyer. Commissioner Dogger?
Thank you, Mayor. Mr. Meeks?
Yes.
We have a few more lights that are out at 4th Street, so I'm gonna have to get with Dave
Okay.
on those. But we have, I think he has the lights, we're just gonna find.
Yeah, well, I knew he ordered several, so.
Yeah.
we'll
We
take-
appreciate him doing that. I think he was able to get those in 3 days before opening day, which was really, really handy. The sewer department, the anaerobic digester project we started a few years ago is complete, and it has been complete for a little bit, but you have to get it up and running for many weeks before it reaches a certain temperature, and we are at that point now, so it has been put into service. The rebuild of the primary and final clarifier, we did 2 of them last year, we're doing 2 this year. It's in the budget, and that'll start next week, and we have that in the budget for about $50,000. Water department, Keith collects his daily samples, but he collected monthly samples today as part of the EPA requirements, and basically that's to test for disinfectant byproducts, nitrate and nitrite, and bacterial samples. So that takes a month to get that report back, but he does sampling every day just to let people know that. We are having an issue at the water tower on College Drive. It's basically the mixer is kicking off with a fault code, but is still somewhat working. So basically, it's just a electronic piece that's being sent in under warranty, and that'll be replaced. We also have an issue with the wiring in the yard at the water plant. Ed Bolden is been called out to assess the situation and let us know what we need to do to fix it. Obviously, we're gonna fix it right, because it is electrical, but we're not gonna go to a super huge expense since that plant will be torn down in a matter of a couple years. Maintenance department, the big project we have here is the Walnut Street project, which is the big water break we had last year, 3rd and Walnut. All the papers have been signed and sent back to Pat Gould, and he's sending them to the Illinois EPA so we can get our permit. Once we get our permit and IDOT signs off on all the preliminary work, we can get started on that project. End of my report.
Thank you, Commissioner Dogger. Commissioner Zimmerman?
Thank you, Mayor. The fire department has gone on 12 runs in the last 2 weeks. The majority of those, they had several last week that there were multiple on each day. They kind of said it's kind of how it falls. If you have one, you have multiple. So they've been busy with that. Also, the Guns and Hoses traditional basketball game will be on June the 13th at 1 o'clock out at WVC. For garbage, just a reminder that as of June 7th, Mount Carmel's pickup day will now be, everyone will be on Mondays. There will be multiple trucks. My understanding that there will be multiple trucks running throughout town as opposed to just the one truck running during, 1 day a week. So that should be a really good thing, that everybody's will get picked up on Monday, and we shouldn't have any issues with that. So we will send out reminders and kind of just keep telling you, hey, June 7th, Monday, everybody's trash goes out. Make sure that you have it out there, by 5 a.m. so that they can pick it up, as they go through town. And then just a reminder, when you're recycling your products that we have down at our recycling, that if you have them in plastic trash bags, please take things out of the plastic trash bags before putting your stuff in the recycling bin. And that's the end of my report, Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner Zimmerman. Mr. Wisman?
As I reported 2 or 3 meetings ago, we've been in negotiations on the 2 cell towers that we have on our property. I had approached them with a figure of $370,000. The closest I've been able to get them is they're at $350,000. $185,000 for the one out by the golf course, and $165,000 for the one down by the old city street department on Railroad Street. So that's a total of $350,000 is what they're proposing for
Did we ask them about modifications in the future, or what did they say to that?
I have approached that with them and have not received any type of an answer from them at this time.
That's what I figured.
Did they say why the difference in the offers between the two towers?
They didn't say. My gut instinct is the fact that they have a chance to rent out the tower for other people to use the tower out by the golf course more so than the one down there. So I think the potential for them generating extra money is greater at that tower. Just for your information, at the current time, we bring in almost $1,200 a month per tower. So that's just, keep calling, asking me if we've reached a decision, and I've been pretty steadfast in saying, yes, we reached a decision at $370,000. So that's where we stand right now.
And they're at 350?
Yes.
How many, I mean, without doing the calculator math or anything, how many years is that? Basically, they're paying up front for how many years, but is in perpetuity? What is the difference there? Is it 20 years? Is it 15?
It's less than 20.
Yeah, roughly 15.
I think it's around, 15, pretty close. So, I just bring that up because at some point, it's either time to, as my father used to say, fish or cut bait.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't sure where you're going there.
That,
What'd you say?
Fish or cut bait.
so I will continue to negotiate with them if that's what you request at this time, and then you just tell me what your thinking is.
I don't have an issue with doing it. The issue I brought up last time, and I think all of us had the concern, was we do this and then they have all these plans. I mean, they're doing this for a reason.
Sure, there.
But they're not answering our question. I think I'm okay with taking the 350 over the 370 if that's what it takes, we think it's a good idea to do it, but I want them to answer that question.
They're trying to lock up everybody right now. I have a friend who has one over in Edwards County, and they've approached him with a similar. They're not offering as much, but anyways.
I've spoken with an individual here in town that has a tower on his property, and they approached him. His advisor told him to just turn it down and continue to take the rental money.
Hey, Rudy, I know when
In long term, that's what.
when those towers first went in, we were getting $9,600 a year for each one of them. And now it's how much, 12?
I believe it's around 12, 1,400, between 12 and $1,400.
So we're under no pressure to negotiate with these guys.
No, no. And the contract that we have is at about every 5 years, it will go up about 8 to 10%.
So that lump sum sounds really good now.
Right.
Yeah.
But what's it gonna look like 10 years from now when we completely run out? We spent the money and we have no revenue from the towers.
So
No, I totally agree with that as well.
I will just tell them at this time, unless you want to make a decision this evening, that we haven't reached a decision and we're standing firm with the 370. If that's okay with you guys?
Bear with me.
Okay,
We go ahead and table it and then
right.
see what they come back with.
Now, the other thing I want to bring up,
375.
Rudy, make them answer that question if you can. Tell them we're not gonna make a decision until they answer it.
well, my thinking is just because, the other thing I want you to understand is, just because we say that we will accept their proposal, until they give us a written contract and we sign the thing, it's not any good anyway. And they have told me that themselves.
Okay.
So, that's just, I'll continue to talk with them.
Okay, sounds good.
Approximately a week and a half ago, I received a contract proposal from Donahue regarding the water plant. I think I provided you all with that. And at this time, I just need to know, do you want to continue to look at it, and by next council meeting, which will be June 1st, we need to make a decision on that. So
Okay.
please, if you haven't looked at it, please review it and see if you're in agreement with it, so we can address that at that council meeting. That's all I have, sir.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Wiseman. Mr. Waldrop?
No report tonight.
And Mr. Gidcomb's not here, Mr. Easter's not here, Chief Turner, for the last time.
Yeah, real quick, this will be my last time as the chief, and I just wanna tell the board or the commissioners, that I truly appreciate, their support the last 2 years. In the past 2 years, we've had a lot of new equipment upgrades and training completed during an epidemic like COVID. Is pretty remarkable, so, you guys are all great to work with, and I look forward to the new role of working with you guys, so thank you.
Well, thank you for your
Thank you.
time and the effort you've put in the position.
Mike, and I will say, finish up with, Mike and I have been transitioning now for a little while, so it's gonna be a very smooth transition, very simple, so leaving it in good hands.
I might add that along those same lines, Mr. Turner and I are transitioning also. So he's stepping out of one role and into another, and I'm going to the front porch on my chair.
It'll be the best job you never had, Rudy.
All right, thank you, Chief Turner. Welcome, Chief McWilliams. All right, consent agenda. Does anybody have any questions on consent agenda? We did change it up this meeting where everybody is getting a copy of all expenditures over the last 2 weeks. If none, I would like a motion to pay all bills bearing proper signature.
I'll make the motion.
Do I have a second?
Oh, go ahead, Susan.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose the same sign. All right. All right, so now I need to move into Liquor Control Board?
Yes.
Third judge,
Yep.
this group here, they didn't get to speak yet, you have
Oh.
more visitors, I'm sorry.
We just want you to sign it properly.
Oh, you just want me to sign it really quick? Okay.
Would you like to come with me, Ellen?
Nope.
No.
I have 4 of them. You get to keep a copy.
Oh,
I have to
okay.
give the others.
All right. I was gonna wait till the end, but that's okay.
Alvin,
Get up here, Calvin.
He's not real pleased about that.
are we done?
All right.
Okay.
Got more pictures, hang on.
Oh, more pictures.
All right, here we go, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3.
All right.
Yeah, we didn't get to do this last year.
I know.
We also have a
we
gentleman in the
didn't.
back here.
He's in liquor control.
Oh. And a gentleman in the front.
And we're gonna sneak out.
You're fine. It's Joe's fault. You had to sit here the whole time.
Yeah,
Thank you.
didn't know.
Do you need me for liquor control? For liquor control?
No, I don't need anybody for
I didn't
liquor
think so.
control. You can
Are we
split.
adjourned?
Yeah.
See you guys.
Hey, see ya.
30.
Me adjourned?
Yeah, we got liquor control now.
I need to be on that.
Are you gonna go home and change?
Good luck,
or something?
Eric.
All right, I'll meet you out
Make
there.
sure you beat him bad.
I mean, I don't need to be on liquor control board, do I?
No, not unless you.
I don't. I don't at all.
Everybody stays for liquor control.
Okay.
He just had a bad
I didn't
baseball
get to vote
game.
on that, do I?
No, you have no vote.
It's all up to you.
Yeah, apparently, it's all my fault.
I know.
Yeah. We're ready.
All right, bring liquor control to order. Have a, yeah. David Brown's here with the Eagles for a special event license for Roots and Q. Does anybody in the audience have any questions? Where are you gonna have this at? As far as, is it on the street or?
A couple of weeks ago, I sent Rudy a proposal, and he was supposed to give you all a copy. Have you seen it?
Probably did, I apologize.
Would you like a copy now so that you can review it? I have some with me.
That's okay, I just didn't know where it was at.
We were approached, the Eagles was approached by the Roots and Q organizing committee to have a beer garden this year during their event.
Right,
And we believe we're gonna have it on the west side of Market Street, on Fourth Street, between the bank and the pavilion, or the empty lot.
Oh, okay.
There. It belongs to Wilderman.
yeah,
About a 60 by 60 fenced-in area
okay,
with a beer wagon there.
all right,
We've arranged for the sheriff's department to provide us a deputy for security both Friday and Saturday nights. They've agreed to do that. Friday night and Saturday night will both be raising money for charities. Friday nights will go to the sheriff's department because we understand they want some new radios for their squads. Saturday nights monies will go to the senior citizens for help with the purchase of their new meal van.
awesome,
We're gonna provide all the alcohol, all the manpower, with the exception of security.
okay,
Operate it from probably 3 to 10 on Friday night, and 4 to 10 on Friday, and 3 to 10 on Saturday.
okay, sounds great,
And we'd like to have a couple of 50-50 drawings.
Okay.
With a part of those, probably 2 per night, and with a portion of those going to those stated charities for each night as well.
awesome, sounds great. It's approved.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, and good luck with it. Hopefully,
Yeah.
we have a lot of people at Roots and Q this year.
It's a really good chance for us to help the community.
Yes.
And to get back out in the open after all the things that shut us all down.
Yeah, well, we appreciate everything the Eagles have done continually here in the city of Mount Carmel for all the unity.
We appreciate the opportunity.
Meeting concluded at
Yeah.
5:32.
Have they talked to Dave and them about permission to use that lot? That would be my only.
No, he's not putting it on the lot.
Thank you all and have a good evening.
No, he's between the lot and the bank.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's